Robert Chambers was a Warner Robins resident in the state of Georgia. Born in April 21, 1991. He was the son of Sharise Wells and Robert K. Chambers. Robert Chambers was part of a dedicated and hard-working family. He was lovingly called Playboy by his family, as he appears he liked to dress well and be friendly and caring toward friends, especially girls. He was also said to be very polite, helpful, non-confrontational, peaceful, and respectful. Sadly, he was only 19, a teenager, when he was killed on January 24, 2011, in Warner Robins, Georgia. He was shot by a police officer. The killing Houston County, Georgia, police officer, Stephen Glidden, claims that he shot the teenager in the back of the head as he was fleeing from him. But the account of events of that day are solely the claims of the perpetrating officer. There were no independent witnesses, or clear and continuous recording of the events. There is only a 20-second taser camera recording that suggests Chambers was on the ground moments before he sprints away from the cop. It also recorded as the officer yells for Chambers to get on the ground shortly before a single shot is heard. The events all surround the investigation of a burglary, reported that January 24th morning, from a nearby homeowner in the city. Officer Glidden was aiding in the investigation of the burglary when he encountered Chambers walking in a wooded area of the town. The perpetrating officer was ultimately found not accountable for his actions, as ruled by a judge's interpretation of established law. Several of the events, as claimed by the shooting officer, have discrepancies and inconsistencies, as brought to light by a wrongful death lawsuit filed in 2015 by Sharise Wells, Chambers' mother. First, there are questions about the cop's judgment of that morning, and on his decision to shoot Chambers as he fled. What made the walking teen, a suspect, to warrant the cop to follow him, and then lurch at him without warning? Why did the officer shoot whom he believed to be a child, and whose only admitted suspicion, at the time, was that of carrying a weapon, a legal act in many circumstances, under Georgia law? Also, there are claimed inconsistencies with the actual details about the shooting. A bullet casing was found out of place. The teen was shot in the most unlikely side of his body as he fled. More importantly, there is suspicion of tampering with evidence after the shooting. A gun of a slightly different model as the one reported was photographed at the scene. The gun was photographed first without any cover, then later photographed covered in leaves. The gun whereabouts is unknown. The owner could not have known if the gun was indeed missing at the time of the shooting. Lastly, there are discrepancies with the evidence and investigation that raise suspicions of a cover-up, and attempts at derailing the investigation and any chance at delivering justice for Chambers and his family. There is a second suspect with a history of theft who was largely ignored. There is a stolen laptop that was not found, fingerprints that were not matched to Chambers or the other suspect. And there are suspiciously convenient events like the taking, by Chambers of all things, a TV remote and thumb drives from the burgled house. In addition to the claim that Chambers left a cell phone behind in the burgled house. Further, the GBI, the agency charged with investigating the shooting, handed the home's lifted fingerprints to the Houston County Sheriff's Office immediately after gathering them, apparently without matching them with both suspects. Also, the exact timeline of events is not public, and the access history of the house and police contact with the house and homeowner is not public. All partly due to the case not being allowed in court. Lastly, the perpetrating police officer is seemingly a supporter of cops that shoot unarmed black men. And the second suspect, having a prior history of robberies before the killing of Chambers, has since been arrested on burglary charges.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. Please look for the next episode soon, and please ensure to share this with your friends and family. And please like this content and subscribe as a sign of support and for me to continue to provide this type of content to more people like you. Lastly, if you wish to support this content further, please visit the links provided in this publication. Thank you.